So Google just launched their Pixel Watch a couple of weeks ago. Going by the specs of the watch, I wasn't very impressed, so I had to go out and find a better alternative for my needs. So, hi everyone, and for those of you who are new to my rants, welcome to the channel. And today it's going to be all about the Ticwatch Pro 3 GPS. Yeah, let's get right into it. Now, straight out of the box, you're going to get some really cool packaging actually. It comes in matte black finishes, and that's all good for me. That's what I like to see. You get past all the paperwork, warranty information, and you get the watch and the charger. Interesting fact, the watch comes with zero battery out of the box. It took me about 45 minutes to charge the whole thing, and then another 55 minutes to install software and updates and all of that stuff, which I thought was actually really weird. That's a long time, right? Like to get everything started up and booted up. But hey, now setup with this watch is actually really easy. The continuity between my e-watch and this watch was seamless. When you log on to the mobile app, it just automatically recognizes your watch, and all your previous data, it stays. You don't lose any of it, and it just continues. First things first, this watch actually comes with a Snapdragon 4100, which means it is slated to receive the Wear OS update, and we're hoping that comes sometime this decade. Yes, Google, get to it for real. This watch actually has a really cool looking AMOLED, they call it Retina AMOLED display. And for regular people who have no idea what that means, it just means it's really bright and the colors look great. It has a dual display that displays like the minimal information that you need. It's just date, time, and your steps, and a little battery icon to show you like an estimate of how much battery life you have left. It's no color. It does light up when you do tilt to wake, and it gives you all the information at a glance. And that simple dual display helps to conserve your battery to 40 plus days if you turn on essential mode. But it also has up to 72 hours if you're using smart mode. What does smart mode mean? No idea. Now, with all of that in mind, this watch has 1.4-inch display, which means absolutely nothing to me. All I know is that it's a faster and smoother experience, and you can actually feel it when you're sliding between the tiles, scrolling through the apps. The thing is, it's buttery smooth, and for someone who's coming from the TicWatch E, I could feel like the jitteriness and the bugginess when you're trying to get through apps, and the delay in opening certain apps, and sometimes them freezing and actually shutting down. This thing has none of that. I know it's running Wear OS 2, which a lot of people think is a bit of a downgrade, especially now that the Pixel Watch is out. But this is the best Wear OS 2 experience I have had. So I don't really know what I'm missing. I mean, I do hope that we get the Wear OS 3 functionality at some point, because I'm just curious to see what it looks like. Not because I think it's going to be way better, but I'm just curious to see what it looks like. And personally, I'm hoping to see some of those really cool Pixel Watch faces come to this watch. But knowing my luck with these things, it's probably never going to happen. Now, at first glance, this watch it looks chunky. When I was shopping for it online, I thought it looked too big. I mean, I almost bought the TicWatch E3 version because I thought that was much smaller. But the thick bezels on that one were like, ugh. I wasn't really sure about that. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna like that. And I don't think that's something I'm ever gonna stop noticing. So I went for this one. It is made of stainless steel and plastic. The strap is silicone, but I do like the stainless steel bezel. It's non-rotating, for those who need to know. The buttons also rotate, but there's no like rotating functionality with them. They just rotate for like no reason whatsoever. But yeah, I mean the stainless steel bezel sort of, I think, protects the screen like by a wee bit. I mean, it's only slightly raised. I like the marks around the bezel. It also makes it look like it's functional. and it can take a hit and the screen won't get damaged. And that's not to say that I'm not going to get a screen protector, because best believe I am. Now, some of the features about this watch, and best believe it actually has quite a lot of features. I mean, it has NFC payment. I used the Google Pay functionality on this watch for the first time today. Brilliant. It was easy to set up. Just unlock the watch and you're good to go. Easy. It has a great mic and speaker. I have taken a few calls with it, and it sounds really good. Like, I don't know if there's any difference with the phone, but to me, it sounded really good, clear. But it is slated for IP68 water resistance and dust resistance, which means if you're anyone but me and you like to go for a swim, you're good to go. I, on the other hand, nope. Uh, I prefer to find out my watch is water resistant if I accidentally drop it in water. I am not about to go wearing this watch, going swimming or, taking a shower, because, yeah, that's not going to happen. Funny enough, the watch also comes with a gyroscope and a barometer. And for those of you who are curious what those functionalities mean or what they do, you're going to have to Google that, because I have no idea. But I'm guessing it has something to do with like outdoor activities, along with the altimeter, something like that. I don't know. But you do get quite a bit of like outdoor sporty activities, like cycling, climbing, whatever. For me, I just need walking. That is pretty much all the exercise apps and features that I need for myself. I do use the 24-hour heart rate monitoring and the 24-hour blood oxygen monitoring, as well as the sleep tracking. As someone who doesn't sleep very well, it was really interesting to see like the sleep stats I was going to get on the watch. How accurate they are, I wouldn't put much stock in it. I mean, unless I do like a Stanford sleep study and rate the two, I would have no idea whether it's true. I know I don't sleep well. The watch also says I don't sleep too good. So I mean, maybe it's accurate-ish. Up to you guys to decide for yourselves. But my favorite thing about this watch is actually the Wear OS experience with it. Google Assistant is baked into this watch and it's seamless. It doesn't feel like an additional thing that's attached to the watch. It feels like a Wear OS watch, actually. I mean, you still get a lot of the Tick Watch apps, but you have the Play Store, which means that you can download all the other Google experiences and all their apps. Sometimes, actually, most of them came with the watch. Google Fit app, the Fit Breathe, Fit heart rate. Did I say Fit Breathe already? But yeah, it comes with all that stuff. But personally, for me, I only use the Google Fit for like workouts, because I don't know, I prefer that. It's a clean UI, so I prefer that. It's very easy to use, like I said in my previous video. Even a child could use it. For the heart rate monitoring, I do prefer to use the Tick Pulse app. I find that it has more detail in how it shows your heart rate. It does have heart rate zones, which show you like how much time you spent like in a higher heart rate, how long you were in resting, how long you were like in a warm up state. And for someone like myself who tends to run on the higher end, I do like to keep an eye on that, because sometimes I could be doing something as simple as walking up the stairs and my heart is sort of like racing. Like I struggle with things like that on a day to day. And then my watch would sort of tell me like, hey, sit down, you need to like take a break. And I see how that could be useful in an exercise situation. Another thing I really appreciate about the Google Fit experience is also the active hours thing that they do. It, it sort of gamifies being active. I personally don't move around so much, and sometimes my legs do feel like a ton of bricks and I can barely move. But with this feature, which also the previous models have had, and everyone pretty much I think has it, the little reminder that you get every hour to like, hey, get up and walk, I find that like very helpful, because sometimes even I forget to move. I'll be stuck in my bed or my couch for like extended period of time, and I feel like I need to get up and stretch my legs. And for people who work long hours where they have to like be sitting at a desk the whole time, it's a good reminder to be like, hey, get up, take a walk, get that blood moving. And I think that's always a good option to have. Whether you have it on your Apple Watch, whether you have it on your Samsung Watch, it's a benefit, and I hope everyone out there is actually using it. Now, unlike other Google products that we get out there, this watch works straight out of the box. You get like a very clean experience with this watch. Now, ever since I got it like 3 days ago, from that first charge, I have only charged it once for like 5 minutes, and that 5 minute charge added like a whole other 50% to my battery. I went 1.5 days and I only had 50% left. And by the time I got to 35%, I thought, let me charge it and like see, how much extra battery I'm going to get. And the thing went up to like 75 in like 5-10 minutes. That that blew my mind. For someone who came from a watch that had to charge every 6 or so hours, hey, this thing feels amazing. Now, this time around, I have about 45-ish% left on my battery. I'm going to let it run to like 5-10%. I actually don't even know how low you have to be. But then I'm going to turn on the essential mode and I want to see how long I can actually get out of this watch. They say you can get like 40 plus days. I'm skeptical, but I'm going to see how long I last with it. I am going to lose a lot of the features which I really like, that like the continuous heart rate monitoring, the blood oxygen, which is also like very continuous. I really don't need that one every day, to be honest. Another thing I think people are actually going to really love about this watch is, it's a little thing, but it's the offline Spotify experience. The fact that I can actually connect my earbuds to my watch, leave my phone behind, and take a walk and still listen to like my music and my podcast, I think is genius. I know a lot of other watches have been doing that, but my previous watch didn't have that. And because I hate Samsung, I wasn't about to go buy one of their watches. And Apple, yeah, I'm not getting Apple either. I couldn't really have that feature. And for someone like myself, I'm always really paranoid about losing my watch, forgetting it somewhere, or dropping it. I mean, these things ain't cheap, you guys. So if I can leave my phone behind in any situation, I will. And to me, this was a great opportunity to try it, and it worked seamlessly. As long as you can download your playlist, your podcast, or whatever it is that you need to listen to onto the watch, and I can just go all over the place and listen to them whenever I want. Now, some people might actually say that, "Ooh, Gene, this watch actually looks really cheap. I don't know why you would get that." And they'll have all these complaints. You should have gone for the Pixel watch. It looks cool. But for me, I like a watch that, one, is durable. It has all the functionality. It's form and function combined together that makes something worthwhile. Anytime you can get the two to work together, I think, hey, you should go for that, to be honest, because the Pixel Watch is basically, I mean, it's just for, at least in my opinion, it looks good, but the functionality is a little hit or miss depending on which unit you get. I mean, on my last video, a few of you guys were actually commenting, like some people said, like, hey, I'm actually getting really good battery with this watch. I charged it, I'm doing all the workouts, I'm doing all the heart rate monitoring, the sleep tracking, and I got like well over a day with it. And I'm like, actually, you know what? That's surprising. That's great. But then you have like literally another half of the comment section saying they got the exact opposite. Someone even said that they're gonna like return their watch. And that blows my mind. The fact that with Google products, you just never know what you're going to get. One day it works, the next day it doesn't. There's people talking about how the watches lose connectivity to their phones all the time, and the only way to reconnect it is by resetting the watch. And if I had to do that more than once, best believe I'm gonna get rid of the watch. It's an expensive watch for you to not know what you're getting. Now I know Google is actually gonna learn from this first watch, whether it be good for like other people who have been using it, some people have been good, some people have been bad. But I know Google is gonna learn from this and they're gonna do something that's a lot better next year. But until then, I think this has been the best choice for me. I mean, there's nothing else in the Android space I feel would fill that realm of the Google ecosystem for me in this situation. And I'm happy with it. The watch, it looks great, it works, bigger battery. I mean, the only thing I can complain about with this watch is the strap. This thing, it's a nightmare to like get off my wrist. It's like sometimes I just leave it on because I can't deal with that. I mean, I'm gonna get a different strap. I'm gonna look for something else. But until then, thank you guys for watching this video. And if you have some comments about what you think I have said in this video, or what you other ideas you have, or even other watches you think would have been a better alternative, don't forget, leave it down in the comments and we can talk about why I'm absolutely right about my opinions. Anyway, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.